And I kind of regret that we didn't go in it more because we ate it too fast.
So we're not taking away from any of that.
No.
We just didn't see it this trip.
So that was a very nice evening stroll. Oh, that's how you close the door.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another recap video. The day we're recapping is day 11. This was definitely probably one of the highlights of our trip.
For sure.
Day 10 we were in York. Day 11 we left York. So we'll start from the beginning. First thing first, me and you went to get the car. We woke up early, got everything packed.
I think we took a bus to get to the car because it was like a mile and a half away.
We woke up at 6 o'clock.
You did. I slept in. I could not get up that early.
And then we went over to, we rented the car from Enterprise, which was great company.
We actually got there early. We weren't supposed to pick up the car till 8:30, but we got there before 8, which was before it even opened. And so we ended up, what was it? We had to wait for like a few minutes for them to actually open.
5 minutes.
Yes, but either way, they were able to.
Make it sound like it was the worst thing ever.
It was just kind of funny. We're like standing across from the store just waiting for them to open.
Anyway, yeah, so we actually picked up the car.
This is your first official time driving.
Well, it's technically second, but I wouldn't count the first one because it was awful. The first official time, it is an automatic. I will say for any Americans, if by chance you're watching this, if you're thinking of coming over, get an automatic. It's just, it makes life easier. It's just one less thing to worry about.
Even if you're used to a manual, you have to be used to that kind of manual car. Otherwise, it's a little off.
We drive it back. No problems.
Nope.
No car smoking. Nothing burning.
Well, the good thing is about that time in the morning, York is not very busy.
No, it wasn't very busy. So anyway, we go straight to our
apartment,
Airbnb, and then Laura came to meet us to say goodbye.
Wish us farewell as we pack up.
So we had like, she helped make us like a little.
She did. She made us coffee and tea.
Biscuit.
We had a couple bickies, and they were super good. We tried Jammy Dodgers for the first time.
So
very good.
That took about an hour for my brother and us to pack up, make sure everything was clean, make sure everything was put away, visit with Laura a little bit. But we left relatively quickly. I think by 10 in the morning.
Yeah, I think we were out.
Gone.
Yeah, we were driving off to Wells.
Heading off to Wells, which we'll have to put the little mappy thing or whatever
the route we took
later in the editing.
I know it took like 3 hours.
I think it was right at about a 3-hour drive. So on our way to Wells though, I forget what time we stopped at, but we did stop and had McDonald's, which I know sounds super lame.
I think it was when we first got to Wells, like we entered the country.
But we were just trying to find some quick food.
Yeah.
And then my brother's like, well, you have to try McDonald's while you're here to see the differences. The main difference is like the touchscreen things.
Yes, that was very different.
You like the touchscreen kiosk to order. They're super easy to use. I kind of like them, but we don't have that. Or if we do, like, that's not very commonplace because I don't think I've seen one.
I mean, everyone just does the drive-through.
Well, we do have
all
ones
of them are just drive-through pretty much.
You can do order on app and just go and pick it up.
Yeah.
Or like sit in your car and have them bring it out to you. But anyway, so that was pretty different. The food options were pretty different, but we don't go to McDonald's as we've said before. That much anyways. I couldn't really do a compare and contrast video on the menu.
But it did seem a little bit healthier.
Oh wow, that sounded really hit.
Ooh.
If you want to see that, it will be in a different video of us trying McDonald's for the first time in the UK. After that though, I think it was a pretty straight shot. Like I think we only stopped that one time and then made it all the way. We went to a town not called this, but how am I pronounce it? Llandudno.
Llandudno is what.
Definitely not how you pronounce it. I know that's not how you.
We had a local pronounce it. Sound nothing like it. Can't even remember because it was so hard to pronounce.
Llandudno.
It was actually very random that we chose that town. It was literally just my brother Googling hotels near a beach on the Wells. It pulled it up. We got our hotel, and that's how we ended up in that town. But we hadn't planned for this town at all.
No.
Like, this was a very random, we knew nothing about the town. So we pull up, it's too early to check into the hotel. And so we just park the car.
So we walk out onto the beach, and the tide is very low, and they have like several different kinds of piers, a couple like little short ones that were almost completely out of the water, like the very ends of them were barely in the water, but then they have this giant pier that we decided to go explore.
Once we start walking along, they have like this a very wide like sidewalk or area for people to walk. There was a statue of like the Mad Hatter, so we go up to go take a picture of it, and then apparently Alice in Wonderland writer wrote that book there.
Yeah, that was
so
very
it was
interesting.
Very random. I had no idea about that. And then also our first impression of the town was really just this beautiful view because one, it's not the ocean, it is the sea. People have been correcting us. But you have like mountain, a huge row of hotels, and then just open sea.
Yes.
Besides way off in the distance, you do see a bunch of wind turbines.
Yeah, which was kind of interesting. Very futuristic looking for me. But yeah, so we went and checked out the pier while we were there, and it was kind of cool. Lots of arcades and snacks and foods and shops and stuff all along this pier. And of course, the first thing you notice is that the railing is very weak because of how old this pier is, which we found out is actually a private privately owned.
Which made a lot more sense of why the
It was not
railing
kept up as well, I guess.
Well, maybe it was money. I'm not going to judge them for their pier, but it definitely seemed like the railing was very sketchy.
Yeah, there's several times you lean over it, the
a
whole
little
thing
worried, but
wiggles.
it was so unexpected because the whole pier was like 50 themed, and it was obviously made for like little kids, like families and their little kids.
Yeah.
Everything was like little rides and arcade and like
very much like a carnival.
Slide. Yeah, it was like a
what we call a carnival, a fair.
It's like a year-long carnival, or maybe not in the winter, but it's like just a carnival all the time on a pier. Beautiful, epic views though. Like honestly, just breathtaking views. So we just walked all the way down to the very end.
And like I said, it's still low tide, so the ocean is like 30, 40 feet below us by the time you're at the very end of the pier. Yeah, we were really high up.
So then, I think I see a cave.
Yes.
So we go all the way back down the pier, all the way down the pier, down onto like the rock mountain side of the beach.
Yeah.
And the rocks are massive, and it's kind of hard to walk over there.
Yeah.
But we did find a cave. I think it actually may have been a legit cave. So we go in there. Like, I only have a phone for a flashlight, of course, because when I find caves, I don't have a flashlight. But yeah, we went back just a little ways, and it got super muddy. Like my pants and my shoes they were filthy pretty much right away. My shoes got soaking wet. Anyway, so we left that. It was like 2 minutes.
We played around on the beach for a while after that.
Played around the beach, tried to look for shells.
Yeah.
Most of them were very tiny.
Yeah.
I climbed a little mountain or whatever. It was like a 30-foot rock.
Oh yeah.
But it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I did too. That was fun.
And then we walked along the other side. We went under the pier to the other side of the beach, which was a little bit more sandy, more like you could swim and stuff. And it wasn't like the nicest beaches.
Yeah, but around this time we realized the tide is actually coming up again because the little wood piers that were down below closer
were already
to the beach,
filling up.
Yeah, they were already partially covered on the ends. So we got to walk over that, kind of walked on the sea for a little bit, felt the water.
The reason why we didn't get in the water though is because it was a little chilly. We hadn't checked in our hotel yet, so we didn't have like a change of clothes. And I honestly was a little worried about maybe getting hypothermia or something, like because it was on that verge of like 50.
Yeah,
so it was on the verge where it wouldn't feel cold, but you might get sick from it.
The sea did feel warmer than it did in Edinburgh. Well, we had to drop all of our stuff in the hotel, and by the time we did that, we kind of decided we wanted to drive around because there's such cool cliff faces and stuff like that. We were wondering, hey, I think there's a road that goes along the edge of the sea and the cliff, and we wanted to check that out.
Yeah, there was this like road going along the mountain.
Yes, I forget the name of it.
And my brother really wanted to do like an evening drive, so we did that. One thing that was kind of interesting was we couldn't figure out how to lock the door in the hotel because you have to lift up the handle.
Yeah, apparently doors in Wells have like this unique thing where you have to like lift the handle up, and it kind of helps the locking mechanism pop back out so that you can actually lock the door properly. We actually had like the manager or whatever come out and it's like, oh yeah, you just do this, and like, oh, that's how you close the door.
Then we go on this drive, and we don't know what to expect. We just are expecting like an ocean view.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it was like kind of going around the ocean.
But as we pull up to it, there's like this gate and this wall and stuff, and apparently you have to pay a toll, and we're like, it's not that much. It's like $3.50, I think, £3.50. So yeah, we decided to go on this drive, this 4-mile drive around this cliff face, and oh my gosh, that was the prettiest thing we've ever seen in our lives. We stopped so many times just to pull over and look at the view, or go climb part of the hill, or go climb over the wall and down the hill, and it was just like, oh my gosh, every single turn we made, we were like, oh, let's stop again, let's check this out, and we had so much fun.
The wind.
Oh, the wind was
insane.
Crazy. It was like blasting my face, and I actually got a little wind burnt on top of my sunburn.
We'll have its own video, so definitely go check that out. Some people I know on Instagram are saying like, oh, that town is awful, like there's way prettier towns, and there may be, we don't know.
But that particular area
was, we thought,
those cliffs
was absolutely beautiful.
That view.
One thing we did kind of stumble across, which was really awesome, was there was like some old military.
Sorry, the sun is so bright, but we'll continue.
There was like a old military base that looked like a normal town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was like you could see where they had the old guns, and they apparently
we couldn't figure out how the road went to it though.
Apparently you could they used to shoot, do naval exercises out on the sea there. So it was just really cool to see, like it was like well established looking town, but it was actually a military base that they used. So yeah, we kept driving. We
got to the end of that route, you could say, and there was another beach. So we pulled over again to check it out, and there was some guys windsurfing, I think it's called. There was some like on little surf boats, and they were surfing, and then there's just one guy with just like a parachute thing.
Okay, no, you're describing this awful. He had a surfboard or a wakeboard, and he had a big kite that he was using to steer himself.
I forget what that's called. I've seen it before, but I've never seen it up close, and this guy was really good. The wind there was so strong, it was blowing sand into our faces. I had to like hold my coat over my hood.
Which we didn't notice.
Hood
The
over my
beaches
head.
there were actually really nice. They were very sandy, very smooth. Would be like perfect to go swimming.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy, he was really good because he was like going so fast.
He was catching air.
He was just whipping around. He probably went up like 30 feet.
Yeah,
honestly.
a couple times.
He just
going back
caught
and
air
forth.
and just went straight up and then kind of flipped around and then like
Ride the waves.
rode the wave out back into the
rode
ocean.
the waves.
So
Yeah.
it was very impressive to see. He was doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. So the ocean obviously wasn't too cold. And I kind of regret that we didn't go in it more.
It was just kind of surreal and just absolutely beautiful up there.
We also met some sheep along the way, so that was fun.
And goats.
Were there goats
There
too?
were goats and sheep.
Oh, that's right, there were.
The only thing that happened to me that was kind of like, one, it got warmed up, so the one day I decided to wear shorts is the one day we do most hiking.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was walking down like to kind of get close to the cliff, and I touched like stinging nettle or some kind of bush or something.
Barely touched
a weed, and it just like lit my hand on fire, and like my leg just burned, and it actually did that like almost for the whole night.
Yeah.
It wasn't unbearable, but
No.
it was just like this throbbing sensation.
Because I noticed that there was some there right as I accidentally walked through it as well. I saw it right as I was like walking next to it, so it just barely touched my leg, and immediately my leg like caught fire. It felt
Oh,
like.
I did want to say
It didn't last as long though, thankfully, but it was still, it's a weird plant.
Anyway, so after the drive, we need some food for the next day because we know the next day we're going to be immediately driving again.
Yeah.
Which was really sad. I
Yeah.
really wish we had an extra day in this town or this area, at least on the beaches. So we went to M&S and we got a bunch of like little half sandwiches.
Pre-made sandwiches.
They were pre-made sandwiches.
So good.
And some like crisps and some water. Anyway, but I was super impressed with just not only their selection, but it was really good quality. Free range egg and watercress sandwich.
Yeah.
Super good. I've heard people talk about it, so it was really nice being able to try it.
Yeah.
We didn't put it on camera.
Because we ate it too fast.
Honestly, yeah. We were very hungry. But I
Or
really
was in the car the next day.
I really did enjoy.
Yeah.
I was super impressed with M&S food. I will say that. So anyway, after we ate, we decided to go out on like an evening stroll along the beach to check out the sunset on the ocean.
And the first thing we noticed is as soon as we walk out to the ocean, we realize the tide has come in all the way. And it rose like 20, 30 feet, it seems, from when we first went out there to when we came out again. Like
It's hard
just
for us to
3-5
gauge.
hours later.
But like the water was practically like right up to
Like the
where this
big walkway. Yeah.
I did want to mention, I forgot, it was really kind of cool to see the Welsh flag flying
Oh, yeah.
everywhere. It seemed like they were.
They had a lot of different flags flying.
Yeah, but it was just cool seeing the Welsh one. It seemed like the Welsh people were kind of proud of it, or proud of their country.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to see.
Yeah.
So anyway, we keep going down on this walk, and we walked probably
We walked like the whole stretch of buildings
mile.
pretty much down the, yeah, I think it was.
We walked to like, there was like a kid's swimming pool, which I always think is funny, but I get for
A
kids.
pool right across from the ocean.
There was a pool
the
like
sea.
30 feet from the ocean or something.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, the sunset on the ocean
Oh, so
or the
pretty.
sea was absolutely
Yeah,
beautiful.
with the cliffs and the high tide.
And the
it was,
clouds. The weather was amazing
Oh,
too.
it was perfect that day. And the wind had calmed down quite a bit by that point. So that was a very nice evening stroll.
Kind of random. When we were coming back, we actually noticed an American flag flying.
Yeah.
So I was
like
like,
all
oh,
these
is that
flagpoles.
actually pointed out? And I was like, is that the American flag? I'm like, oh yeah, that actually is it.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
So in this random small town in Wales, there's an American flag. I think it has something to do with a war memorial, and that's
Maybe.
why they had so many different flags.
They had a lot of different country flags.
If you guys know why, maybe comment down below because I
Yes.
actually don't. And then yeah, I think after that, because we knew we had so much driving the next day, we
Kinda
called
wrapped
it a
it
night.
up. Yeah.
Granted, it was, I think by the time we went back, it was like almost 10.
So first impressions of Wales, we loved it. It was beautiful, at least the part we saw there in the beginning. And we also noticed the language is on all the signs. Now it usually has English as well, but it was very interesting seeing the Welsh language on all the signs and the
Well,
road signs and the traffic signs and everything.
Even at McDonald's, you can choose
Yeah.
to order in Welsh or not. Like,
Yeah.
you can speak it. So I thought it was really cool too. Yeah, like that they've preserved their language and it
a
seems
very
like
hard language
we
at
didn't
that.
hear too many people. We didn't.
Speaking
I don't
it.
know if we heard anyone honestly speaking it.
Or if we did, we didn't realize it.
But yeah, no, it was just really cool to see how integrated it is with their country.
Yeah.
Like, it's even though it's so close to you, like, there's definitely a difference. in
Yes, there was
separation.
definitely a difference. It felt kind of like going into a different country as it was.
Absolutely loved Wales. Definitely recommend going, and would love to go back and see more of like the ocean side. And
Oh,
I
for
know
sure.
the south is very pretty too with that side on the ocean. It is true though. I mean, I don't know if the stereotype is true, but it is true that Wales does have a lot of sheep.
Yes.
There are sheep everywhere.
Yes,
tons
there
and tons
were.
of sheep. But it was still cool to see them,
Yep.
especially like the wild ones way
Yeah.
up in the mountains.
That was pretty
So,
cool.
you know, I think that recaps the day. We were honestly amazed and just awestruck. Now, I do know that Scotland has a very similar vibe to it.
Yes, if
And
not prettier areas, but we didn't get to see those this trip.
obviously, I think parts of England as well, especially on the south with the beach. So we're not taking away from any of that.
No.
We just didn't see it this trip, which just means we have to come back over at some point, hopefully.
But we do want to say we are very impressed with Wales and we loved it.
Anyway, guys, that does recap this video. Let us know what you thought down below and stay tuned for the next recap where we go into Snowdonia. Anyway, guys, as always, please be safe, take care, look after one another, and cheers.